another girl talk. It's been a while since I've done a girl talk video, and I know you guys really like them, so I'm really excited. So there were a lot of questions and I'll try and get through most of them. There are a lot of like relationship advice questions, and I figured if you guys are okay with it, I would do more of those whenever I do another video with Jimmy, because I just feel like Jimmy offers another perspective. So with relationship questions, I feel like we get a more full answer when him and I are together. And then these girl talks are for stuff that you'd rather just ask me without Jimmy next to me, if it's more comfortable for you. So I'm answering this question because I get this question a lot. It says, you've been in a relationship over years. I wonder if you have been in jealous situations and how you handle it. So for me, I was a very, very jealous girlfriend. Whenever we first started dating. I'm very much not a jealous person anymore because I'm so comfortable with him and I trust him so much. I do have like moments very rarely here and now. Anyways, yeah, I do get jealous every now and again, but it's very rare. But I used to be really jealous all the time, and I think at the beginning it's normal to be jealous a little bit more frequently, just because you are fresh and new and that level of trust isn't really like fully established yet. But I think that there is always a healthy level of jealousy, that I don't know how to finish this sentence, but there's just a healthy level of jealousy. So like, if you're feeling jealous and it's consuming you, then that might not be the best thing. That probably is a little signal that you don't trust your boyfriend, and either he's done something to you that you can't forgive or you can't get past, or you just have issues with yourself and it's causing you to be insecure and thus project it onto your significant other. I sounded so therapist-y just then, which I don't mean to. This is just like what I think based on my experiences and stuff. So if you feel like it's too much of an amount of jealousy, I would definitely calmly try and explain it to your significant other. I really think it depends on the situation. You should really take the time to understand why you're being jealous. So for example, if you're jealous because he's done something to you in the past to make you not trust him, and it's been months and you've talked about it and you just can't seem to get past it, then you might need a break or something from this person. You might just be staying with him because it's comfortable, but it's probably healthier for you guys to take a break. If you're just jealous because you care about this person but you don't want to seem clingy and you don't want to seem controlling or anything, I would just try and talk to him. If he hasn't done anything to you in the past or hasn't done anything to signal any signs that he's being shady, then I would just talk to him about it, because I think would be open to hearing what you have to say, because it's important for you to be honest. I mean, like, it's important for you to be honest, but make sure you're doing it in a respectful, calm way. I guess my answer is just to assess the situation and to speak to your partner about it calmly and respectfully. Oh my goodness, that was such a long answer. I'm gonna have to not answer stuff that long. This question is, I'm always left out in my friend group. How do you deal with the feeling / being the odd one left out? I felt this so much growing up, and even sometimes right now. I always feel like I'm not, to be honest, I don't feel like I'm special enough to be included in a lot of things. Like, I'm not the super fun one, I'm not spontaneous and exciting, I'm not really funny, so I just feel like sometimes I feel as if I'm easily forgotten, but I think that once you make friends that appreciate you and enjoy time with you, you don't really feel like that. So for example, when I was growing up, it was really hard for me to find a group of friends. In high school, I definitely did, and that was an easier time for me. But when I got into college, I had such a hard time trying to find a group of friends. I ended up joining like a spirit group, and that was really great, but I didn't really find any like a group of friends that would always hang out. I found 2 really close friends from that, which I'm super thankful for. But then when I moved to San Francisco, I told you guys, super lonely for 2 years. It was really, really sad. But then I finally found a group that I really enjoy hanging out with, and hopefully they enjoy hanging out with me. I hope they do. They always invite me to things. But what I'm trying to say is, if they enjoy hanging out with you, they are going to invite you to places. And I think to get to that point, you need to put yourself out there as well. So you need to ask them to hang out, host things so that they can come to your space and hang out with you in your element. I really hope that helps. I think it's really scary because I remember talking to you guys about this, how I would constantly reach out to people because I wanted to put myself out there more, and I just felt like I kept getting rejected. And for those situations, I give it 3 chances. If they reject me 3 times, then I just stop. I don't want to mentally go through that. But if someone is really trying to hang out with me and we have a good time together, then I want to put in the same effort. Effort goes both ways. At the beginning, when you're trying to form friendships, it's definitely a lot of work, but then you kind of ease into it and it gets more comfortable, and you still put in the work, but it's not as strenuous because you want to put in that work and you enjoy those people. So if you feel like you're the odd one left out, assess the situation, kind of see what's going on. If it's because your friends aren't really reaching out to you, maybe try reaching out to them. And if they're constantly rejecting you, I think it's safe to say that they're not really your friends, and you should just try and branch out and find new people. And that sounds really easy to say because it is easy to say, but it's really hard to do. It took me 2 years to find friends here in San Francisco that I really care about and love to hang out with. So it definitely might take some time, but I hope you don't get discouraged. I'm always here. You can talk to me. Another question is my opinion on birth control and my opinion on sex before marriage. So birth control, I don't know. My opinion is if you want it, you should get it. I used to be on birth control, but for some reason, all the birth controls, all of the different ones I've tried have made me very emotional, and I've tried to give it a little bit more than a month, but even Jimmy was noticing that I just would become really, really sad and stuff whenever I take them, so I stopped taking them. But we still practice safe sex. And I know that they can be used for acne and stuff, so my opinion is they're great because they are great for safe sex, and they are also great for your skin. So, I guess my opinion is you should consult your doctor. The second thing is sex before marriage. I think it's fine. I always think that if you feel like you are ready and you feel safe with the person you're with and you practice safe sex, then I think it's okay. I just started thinking, I really hope my parents don't watch this. So this next question I'm answering because I forget that these are the kinds of things I thought when I was a lot younger. So this question is, I just started swimming and I do gymnastics. I'm scared that my period will come soon. I've done a lot of tumbling and I've never used a tampon. I've only used pads. Are tampons really uncomfortable? Tampons are not that uncomfortable. When I have them in, I feel comfortable. It's just the putting them in and taking them out part that I don't enjoy. But if you're this active, I do suggest that you maybe practice a little bit. Just sit in your bathroom at home and just kind of practice putting them in, and be super patient and be gentle, because I know it's a very, very uncomfortable sensation to put the tampon in for the first time. And I remember I didn't try a tampon till I was in college. I wore pads my whole life because my mom wouldn't let me wear tampons. Whenever I tried a tampon in college, my roommate was like, this is how you do it. And I sat in the bathroom. She's like, are you okay? I was like, I'm okay. But after I did it, now I'm okay with doing it. But I will say I don't wear them because I really don't enjoy putting them in and taking them out. I don't know, it feels really weird to me still, so I just don't do it. I find pads a lot more comfortable for me, although I will say that I'm thinking about trying the Diva Cup because I've started to get rashes on like the underwear area because the pad keeps rubbing against my skin. And my old roommate my old roommate showed me a Diva Cup and I was like, but she told me that it's actually very comfortable, so I'm thinking about trying it. I'm just really, really scared. Anyways, tampons, don't worry, just practice whenever you're comfortable. Maybe if you have a friend you're comfortable with. And it's really, really not that bad. Once it's in, you forget that it's even there. Just remember to make sure to change it whenever, I feel like maybe after 3 to 4 hours you should change it, and don't wear it overnight. Next question is, I personally really look up to you and absolutely love your videos so much. Always watching them once the bell rings. I'm really scared of not being able to make it in the world out there, like being able to work in a field of my passion, with things being so competitive nowadays. Did you struggle with something similar before or struggling with it now? How do you think I should face it, or how would you face it? I still feel like this. I don't feel as if I've made it at all. I think I've definitely reached a goal of mine where I built a community and I could make some kind of career out of it, but it's definitely not my career right now. It's definitely not enough to support me in San Francisco. I don't feel like this is stable at all. It's stressful. Sorry, I got so stressed out, I forgot the question. So how I face it is I basically just keep going. So I think that okay, I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what I'm doing. I am honestly, I don't know what I'm doing. I am just trying to do everything kind of a week at a time. I don't know, there's a lot of pressure because it's really competitive. I agree. And there's a lot of talented people out there trying to do the same things that you're doing, and it's really, really hard. But I think the initial like start is really hard because you're always thinking, well, I'm starting from the bottom and all these people are already right here and I don't know if I can ever get here. But if you're thinking about it that much, you should just go and do it. Just literally just start and do whatever you can, and then along the way you'll perfect whatever you're trying to do. You might change what you're trying to do. It's really just the journey. And then once you hit here, which might not be where you want to be, but you used to be here, and so the fact that you're here now, that is a sense of accomplishment. So I always try and think of it like that. I always tell myself, well, 3 years ago you had 0 subscribers. Do you remember that? And you just kept going and now you have 100,000 subscribers, and that might not be enough for you to be doing this full time, but do you still love it? Do you still want to keep going? And for me, that's a yes. I do really love it. I do want to keep going, and it's very stressful, very uncertain, but I really, 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 really enjoy it. And so I think that's kind of how I face it. I just kind of go, and then I just go and keep going, because if I sit and think about it too much, I start chickening out of things, and I don't know, I just don't think that's very productive. I don't want to ever regret not keeping going when I'm in like 20 years. I don't want to think, well, what if I had just kept trying to do it, you know? So I think that's kind of just what I've been thinking about, and I'm really glad you asked that question, because I think when you're in college / out of college, you're kind of just, you're in a limbo when people think you should be having your shit together, you know? And it's just not true. I know so many people who have their Jimmy, you interrupted this. I know so many people who have their shit together and so many people who don't. And I know more people who don't, actually. And I used to not believe that, because when I moved to San Francisco, all the friends I met were Jimmy's work friends, and they all worked at a really nice job like him. And so I thought, wow, everybody's my age and they all work at such a nice job, and here I am jobless and I just don't know what I'm doing. But I told myself, you just got to keep working, you got to keep doing what you're doing. And now I feel as if I've reached somewhere I could have only dreamt 3 years ago. I'm just trying to think that my right now, and then what if in 3 years later I look back and, man, look at how I was 3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So maybe try and think of it like that for a little bit of motivation. I know it's really hard, and there's probably a lot of pressure from your parents. My parents for sure. So I hope that that helps and motivates you a little bit, because it's definitely going to take a lot of time, or maybe not a lot, but it took me a lot of time and a lot of patience. So, all right, guys, let's see what Jimmy wants. Jimmy wants to take me on a date, so he's telling me to meet him at the date spot. You're not even gonna come pick me up? All right, I'll do one more question, because then I'm gonna have to get changed and leave. Let's see. Hey Hannah, my boyfriend and I are going through some things lately. I just want to ask how would you sustain a relationship if one of the couple has fallen out of love? Does this always mean the end? I think if you know you've fallen out of love with that person, then it's time to break up. If you think it's fixable and you still love them, but things are rough, then maybe keep working at them. It's honestly like, so from someone who has been through years of growing up with Jimmy, where we've changed a lot and we've had to learn to change with each other, there's just so many different things. I really encourage you to, each of you, to assess how you guys feel, because if one of you has really fallen out of love, then I mean, it's just, no matter how much you care about each other or feel comfortable with each other, it's not gonna make it better if you've fallen out of love with the person. And that sounds really mean and sad, and I feel bad, but that's my honest opinion. And I also wanted to say that if you feel like, okay, wait, I want to say that you should also think, am I falling out of love, or am I just extremely, extremely upset and I feel like we're in a really weird place right now? Then one of two things, take a break. If you take a break, I think that you will, the space, and you have to force the space, because I know it's going to be hard. You'll want to keep talking to him and you'll see something and it reminds you of him and you want to text him about it, but you can't do that, because you need to force that space so you can see what life is without him. And if you enjoy it, if you're enjoying yourself more without him, then it's probably saying that you guys aren't complimenting each other and maybe it's time for you to break up. But if you are starting to kind of realize that certain things about him, or I don't really know how to explain it, but if you're realizing that you do love him and you love having him as a part of your life, then I would maybe try and really work it out with him. But it's honestly really hard to figure those things out, because it's not going to happen in a day. It's going to take a while. For me and Jimmy, I know we look really happy all the time, and for the most part right now we are happy a lot of the time, and it's because we've had a lot of years to understand each other, and we care about each other a lot, and we really try and make each other happy, and it's a lot of work, but I don't ever feel tired because I love doing the work in our relationship. So I guess just think about all of those things, and if truly you guys have fallen out of love, then maybe he's just not the one. Yeah, I hate to tell people to give up, but sometimes it's okay to give up. Whew, okay, that was a really sad note to end on, but I hope you guys liked this video. Let me know if you want me to do more girl talks. I think they're really fun. I don't know, I like them because I think that a lot of you guys call me Onni, and it's really nice. It makes me feel very happy that I can be an Onni to you and maybe help you get through some stuff or just hear an outsider's perspective. So thanks for trusting me with your stories and everything. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I gotta go on a date, so I will see you guys next time. You must say goodbye to your friends, okay? Say thank you so much for stopping by. You guys are the best. Look, he can play the guitar. Do, 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 do. He can also say he's hungry. Hey, wait, I'm not done. One more. Say you're hungry. I'm so hungry. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, bye guys. Do, 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 do. Oh my gosh, that is the first time that has happened to me. Very surprisingly. Pepper, you almost killed them. Okay, you guys are okay.